Hi, welcome to Wellspring Foundation's Lake2Lake 2020, and congratulations for having completed your 2-day activity challenge. My name is Mary and I'm here to offer you a gentle stretching sequence to use after your activities, and please feel free to modify and adjust as we go along. What I'm offering you is merely an invitation. Please pay attention to your own body and how these stretches feel in your own body. If you have a yoga block, that's great. That can be used as a modification. If you don't have a yoga block, a rolled up towel is just as good to sometimes help us adjust our stretches so that we can maximize how it feels in our body in terms of letting go and stretching our muscles. So let's just take a couple of deep breaths here together just to ground ourselves and arrive on our mats or on the ground, just to forget everything that's happened before this moment and not think about anything that's coming up, but just to be here and now. So let's take a nice deep inhale through the nose and sigh it out the mouth. One more, inhale through the nose and exhale. Great. Now as the next inhale happens, in through the nose, and exhale gently through the nose and twist to your left side, allowing your right hand to gently land on your left knee. And your left hand is just placed behind you. So we're going to do that again to the other side. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more time, inhale and exhale. On the next inhale, let's take our right arm, bring it over and cross it in front of us, letting it land on our left knee, and slowly drop our chin to our chest, and just feel that nice stretch in your upper back and the length of your neck. Take 2 breaths here. And when that feels complete, take our arms up and exhale to the left side of our body, taking our left arm and crossing it over to our right knee, and again dropping our chin to our chest. And 2 deep breaths here. Next inhale, take our arms to the sky and exhale, letting them float down to land gently on our knees. In this next pose, come to what we call a tabletop position, and it's where our shoulders, elbows, and wrists are all in line, and our hands are spread wide on the earth, on the mat, and our hips and our knees are in line as well, so we're not too far back and we're not too crunched forward. So we're just nice and even everywhere. And what we're going to do is we're going to drop our stomach, lift our chest up and head, and inhale through the nose. And as we exhale, we're going to be like an angry cat and roll our back up to the sky, rounding out, dropping our head, and inhale and exhale, rounding out. So a nice spinal wave. Just to loosen things up. If we were on a bike, it's nice to just give some movement to our spine. And 2 more rounds like this at your own pace with your own breath. And when that feels complete for you, come back to meet me in a neutral position again. And let's pay attention to our wrists. We often forget that we actually ask a lot of our wrists in our work, and if we're at computers, if we're at school, if we've been on a bike, and they certainly can get stiff. So just being in neutral tabletop position, let's just rock back and forth, just stretching out those wrists. Do that a few times, and take your hands and place your fingertips towards the outside of your mat, and let's go side to side. Just feeling a nice gentle stretch. If it hurts, back off. Don't go as far. It's just a nice juicy stretch. Now take your hands and place them in a way that your fingertips actually face your knees. And this is going to feel a little more intense, so be gentle. And just move back and forth, feeling like you're just giving your wrists a nice stretch. When that feels complete, let's come back to just sit on our feet, our heels, and let's just pulse those wrists out and those fingers out just to give them a nice feeling of movement, and especially after those stretches, just loosening them up. And sometimes it's interesting when we make them go really fast and we squeeze our fingers in and out, it gives them just more mobility and just keeps that synovial fluid moving. Now next, we're going to come back into neutral tabletop position, and we're going to do what's called thread the needle. So we're going to lift our right arm up to the sky, and as we exhale, we're going to thread it through our left hand that's on the mat. Feel free to stay here. You can walk your left arm up to the top of your mat. You can also take your left arm up to the sky, opening up your chest. This is really good for the shoulders and the upper back. Again, just loosening them up, just a nice stretch, thanking them for the work that they've done. Take 2 breaths here. And when that feels complete, if your arm was in the sky, bring it down to the mat, or if it was over here, bring it back to the side of your mat. Push yourself up, back into neutral. And we're going to do the other side. So we're going to inhale the left arm up. And as we exhale, we're going to thread it under the right arm. And again, taking whatever position you took in the first side. Take 2 deep breaths here. Just feeling that nice opening of the shoulders, that nice stretch on the shoulders. On the next inhale, place that hand back on the mat, back on the earth, push yourself up, and come back into neutral tabletop. Take your knees wide on your mat, point your toes, and let's just come into a nice folded stretch. And here's where you could use your towel or a block. If your head doesn't reach the floor, you can use your towel here just to give yourself some relaxation in your head. It's not stretched too far down. So just keeping a nice, gentle spine, nice, gentle reach forward. And just feeling it too in your side body. When that feels complete, come back up, move your towel or your block aside, come back into neutral tabletop, tucking your toes under, and coming up into a nice stretch downward dog, pedaling your heels out, putting some movement in your hips. And from here, taking your right foot and looking forward and bringing your knee to your right wrist. Now this is one way to do it. So this is a nice opener for your hips and for your gluteus muscles and your quads and hamstrings. It kind of opens up that whole right side. And if you find yourself rolling over here to the right, you can take your towel and place it on the right side so that your leg can relax onto the towel or the block. So feel free to stay here, just feeling that nice gentle stretch. You can come down to your elbows, or if you would like to come all the way down, you can take your hands one on top of the other and place your forehead down there. And if that doesn't feel right for your body, there's another way to do this. to lie on your back and take your left leg up to the sky and take your right leg and bend it and place it on the thigh of your left leg, keeping your right foot bent as it goes across because that protects your knee. And you can stay here. You can bend this knee. You can also just place your left foot on the floor. And this provides you with that same opening stretch as we do when we're facing forward in pigeon pose. You can also reach through and give it a little bit more intensity. So it's up to you in terms of what feels good in your body. So let's take 2 more breaths here. And let's do that on the other side. I'm just going to do it lying down here as well, but you can do it facing the other way, taking your knee to your left wrist. So take your right leg to the sky and take your left foot and place it across your right thigh, keeping your left foot bent. You can take your hands through and thread them and hold the back of your thigh on the right leg. You can drop your right leg to a 90 degree, or you can also place it on the floor. Again, just feeling that nice stretch and opening in your left hip and along the back of your left hamstring. So let's just take 2 more deep breaths here. Great. Gently come out of that and placing your feet on the mat, placing them a little wider than hip width apart. So taking your edges of your mat and placing your feet there so that your knees can drop in. And here we're just going to windshield wiper our hips back and forth. So as we inhale, we come to center. As we exhale, we drop them down. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And just a nice, gentle flow back and forth, just allowing your hips to open again and just giving yourself a gentle spinal twist. When that feels complete, come back to center. This is a really nice resting pose. It's a restorative rest pose where your knees are just gently folded into one another on the mat. And this just relieves any tension in your lower back. The next inhale, bring your knees to chest and just rock back and forth. And when that feels complete, bring your feet back to the ground, hip width apart, so they're not wide on the mat anymore, they're more centered. And as you inhale, I like to cactus my arms, but you can also keep them stretched out straight into a T shape. But as you inhale, let's drop our knees all the way over to the right side. Now your head can remain in neutral. It can look towards your knees if you want less of a stretch. If you want more of a stretch, you can take your gaze to the opposite side. So our knees are fallen to the right and your gaze will come to the left. Again, just letting your spine gently twist to one side. If you want, you can take a block and place it under your knees so that you're not feeling too much tension in the pull on your left side. Take 2 breaths here. Inhale to center. And as we exhale, let's take it down to the other side. Again, using your block, whatever feels comfortable or makes it easy and gentle for you. Your head can look to the opposite direction, to be in neutral, or to look towards the direction of your knees. Just closing your eyes, just allowing the body to gently settle. It's just a nice gentle twist. If it feels like it's hurting or pinching, back off, pull your knees back and put a block under your knees or a towel under your knees. That feels complete. Inhale to center. Give yourself a nice squeeze here, rocking back and forth, just massaging your lower back. Always feels good. Now gently place your legs stretched out, and let's take a big good morning stretch. Nice inhale in and exhale. Let's do that one more time. Inhale and exhale. Bringing your knees in, roll over to one side in a recovery pose. Just allowing your body to settle. And when you're ready, just come back up and meet me in seated position. Whatever's easiest, you can sit cross-legged or keep your legs out straight. Whatever's comfortable for you. And let's take one deep breath in, raising our arms to the sky. And exhale. Thank you very much for joining me. And I hope you have a wonderful experience being a part of Wellspring Foundation's Lake to Lake 2020. Thank you.